LEGO games are some of the most creative, unique and fun games out there, with a vast catalogue of games ranging from stopping the Joker in LEGO Batman to running away from T-Rexes in LEGO Jurassic World. Each TT title has a place in my heart, and I hold them all dear. But today, I'm going to be talking about my favourite LEGO game, LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. More specifically, the very best levels from LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. I'll be ranking these levels on design, creativity, but mostly on how fun they are to play through, because at the end of the day, I'm just looking to have a good time when I'm playing these games. Before diving in, please remember this is my list, it's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear your opinion. What's your favourite LEGO Star Wars level, and what's your favourite LEGO game? Okay, and kicking off our list at number 10, we have Episode 1, Chapter 6, Darth Maul. The first boss fight of the saga. Padme and the guard quickly run away like cowards, leaving you to play as Qui-Gon Jinn and his apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi to face off against the Sith apprentice himself. This level is quite fun, split into different sections, the first consisting of the Jedi deflecting laser bolts and barrels into their enemies, and then it moves on to a more parkour chase sequence. Once caught up to Darth Maul, you face off against Roger droids and droideckers, which the previous levels of this episode have prepared you for. Once they've been taken care of, it leads to the final battle. And after a few ground slams and a few bicycles to Darth Maul's head, he stabs Qui-Gon in the chest and shortly after gets cut in two by Obi-Wan. Now, the absolute greatest part of this level is the score, Duel of the Fates playing in the background. That is just so much fun, and this is obviously, without a doubt, the best scene in the first movie. That being said, the level is a little short. Not as short as some other boss fights in this game, but it could be longer. They could have added a few more puzzles. But if a level's main criticism is that I didn't get enough of it, then that's not a bad thing to say. And it is a great final level of the first episode of the game. At number 9, we have Episode 1, Chapter 5, Retake Theed Palace. This is the first time the game shows us exactly what these games are made for, having a roster of different Star Wars characters, all with unique abilities which are needed to advance in the level. Personally, I think this level is best enjoyed in co-op mode with a friend for that very reason. This level brings back all the characters we've been introduced to throughout the episode, except thankfully not Jar Jar Binks, and makes you use each character's unique mechanic to complete the level's objective. I think Anakin's character as a boy is such a waste. His literal only character trait is that he's short, he can't attack or do anything else really. So they could have maybe done something there, but that isn't really the level's fault, it's more just his whole character in general. This level is actually the first time R2-D2 is introduced, and you get to use his hover ability to reach certain checkpoints, and that's always good fun. The ending of this level I think is a great concept, with having to free the guards from the clutches of the droids. And again, you make use of all the different characters' abilities to help you, and it leads perfectly into the next level, Darth Maul, which I just mentioned. I think this is the best level in Episode 1. At number 8, Episode 4, Chapter 1, Secret Plans. This is a fun level to start off the original trilogy with, for combat, platforming, and it makes great use of the co-op aspects of the game, needing both players to build and pull levels to help each other get through to the next section. The first half of the level, you're playing as Princess Leia, as she tries to find R2 to send off the hidden plan. The main highlight of this level is towards the beginning, when you face off against Darth Vader. Once you find R2, Leia gets captured and you're left playing as rebel soldiers with the objective of helping the droids reach an escape pod. Filled with fun mechanics to help guide the droids through the ship, and sections where you have to save our boys in blue from the Empire, this makes for a well-rounded and fun level. At number 7, Episode 4, Chapter 3, Mos Eisley Spaceport. Mos Eisley is an exciting location to play through. With bandits and stormtroopers everywhere, you really struggle to find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. The section where you have to get all the parts to build an AT-ST and then fight up against another is really enjoyable, and the sheer number of enemies in a level has never been more fitting, truly giving the player a taste of what it's like to travel through Mos Eisley. The droids not being allowed in the bar is a great adaptation of the movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed how they implemented that into an actual mechanic in the game. Once you've found a pilot in the cantina, you get to play as Han and Chewie, and face off against an Imperial spy which is standing between you and the Millennium Falcon. Han Solo is such a fun character to play with. His cool guy attitude really translates into game form, from the way he jumps, shoots, dodges, to even the way he rides on dewbacks. The boss fight at the end of the level is a fun mini-boss with lots of surrounding enemies, which seems a very fitting way to end this combat-filled level. At number 6, Episode 5, Chapter 2, Escape from Echo Base. The level is set up in a series of puzzles where you go from room to room as the Echo Base collapses around you. This level feels so unique in the features it incorporates, whether that be rolling down icy ramps or flinging C-3PO off a quad bike. This level just feels so fresh, no pun intended, compared to the other levels with a similar objective. Extremely fun to play through, and playing as cool boy Han Solo is always a plus in my book. I only wish the level was a bit longer, as it does seem a little shorter than the other levels, at least on story mode. But obviously on free play, you have a lot more secret realms to explore. At number 5, Episode 6, Chapter 5, Jedi Destiny. The final boss fight of the game, this time against the Emperor himself. This level is creatively adapted from the movie, and is the first and only level in the main story where you play as a Sith. Darth Vader is such a fun character to play with, and pairing Luke up with Vader for the final fight makes for an epic battle against the Emperor. In this boss fight, teamwork and cooperation is essential to your victory, which is exactly how it should be in this co-op LEGO game. I never want to feel like my co-op teammate is slowing me down and the inclusion is irrelevant. This level incorporates co-op gameplay in not only the fight but also in the puzzles, needing to use the Force together as father and son to make your way through the level. Let's just talk about the battle now. The final boss really feels like the final boss of the game, with him being the most powerful of them all, with a whopping 18 hearts. The fight itself is designed in a way where you need to work together to defeat the Emperor due to him blocking your attacks and stunning a player with his lightning, making it impossible to take him on solo. The level concludes with you tossing the Emperor off the cliff and Luke and Vader getting some closure in that classic LEGO style. Just missing out on the top 3 is Episode 4, Chapter 5, Death Star Escape. This is part 2 of the Princess Rescue mission, where now that the princess has been rescued, you need to escape the Death Star. Personally, I enjoy this level more than the part 1 due to its fast-paced combat scenes accompanied with that classic epic Star Wars music. One reason I find this level more fun to play through than the last is that Han Solo is back to his original costume with his pistol rather than a generic blaster. A small change, but it just makes fighting with him so much cooler. This level, being an escape as opposed to a rescue, gives the level a much faster and more exciting pace, with stormtroopers trying to stop us around every corner. There's this one scene, taken straight out the movie, where Han turns a corner to fight a massive group of stormtroopers waiting to attack. The end of the level is a lot of fun, with what feels like an infinite amount of stormtroopers to fend off while trying to board the Millennium Falcon. All this while in the background you see old Ben Kenobi and Darth Vader facing off, which is not only a cool little detail, but you can also interact with this on the free play of this level. And my third favourite level in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga is Episode 3, Chapter 6, Darth Vader. A brilliant adaptation of the prequel's best scene into LEGO game form, except that this level and the scene from the movie are vastly different, because this level actually came out in the original game in 2005 before Revenge of the Sith even hit theatres. So this level is actually based on the original script, which later got changed, so there are some minor differences, which I think is quite cool. But that is not the only reason this level is unique. Its gameplay isn't like any other in the game. The level begins with a really fun sequence where both players have to run forward while the floor sinks into lava behind them. This immediately sets an adrenaline rushing tone to the level, as this level is very fast paced throughout. Once successfully escaping the lava, you are put into a room that is about to collapse, so you must work together and use the force to get out. Then there is this really cool sequence of Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting on the bridge, which leads to a lava parkour section where when you die you have to start from the checkpoint again. This is really fun, and the lava everywhere makes for a thrilling atmosphere around you. The last section of the level is the most unique so far. You and your co-op partner must face off against each other and let the best Jedi win. This is the most unique boss fight, and with the floor breaking around you and lava waves clashing against the rocks, it is also one of the best boss fights in the game. The only issue I have with it is since it's such a fast-paced level, it can seem very short. I think this level would have been better if they added a combat section between Obi-Wan and Anakin throughout the level, not just at the end, because besides that end fight scene, there's not really any other bits of combat in the level. But these are little nitpicks. For the most part, this is a great way to end Episode 3 and the prequel trilogy. At number 2, Episode 2, Chapter 3, Droid Factory. This is a super fun level full of combat, puzzles and parkour. The level has a thrilling atmosphere with so much going on in the background and even in the forefront. You start the level as Anakin and Padme, making your way through a factory-themed obstacle course, fighting off Geonosians, moving through conveyor belts and jumping on pots surrounded by lava. This level is one of the most exciting in the game. C-3PO and R2-D2's inclusion slows the action down a little, but this is not necessarily a bad thing, as it switches the level to more puzzle-based gameplay, with having to use all your character's abilities to help move the droids through the obstacle course. With different types of enemies, flying and shielded, it keeps the combat in this level fun and dynamic. At the end of the level, you face off all types of enemies at once, and save Obi-Wan, making for a fun end to the level. And at number 1, Episode 5, Chapter 5, Cloud City Trap. This level covers the most iconic Star Wars scene of all time, Luke and Vader's face-off. The expectations going into this level are set so high, and I'm happy to say that this level smashes through those expectations and delivers what I consider to be the best level in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. I firmly believe the best way to receive everything this game has to offer and get the full experience is to play every level and episode in order in a short amount of time. This level is an excellent example of why that is the best way to play. When starting this level, you are really missing out if you're not player 1, Luke Skywalker. Throughout the last 2 episodes, we've played as Luke, and his character has changed throughout. After just finishing the slow-paced Dagobah level, where Luke goes from trainee with a blaster to a Jedi with a lightsaber, makes playing through this level feel that much more epic. Never has it felt so rewarding to fend off stormtroopers with your lightsaber. Although player 2 must play as R2-D2, the level still has so much to offer, making R2's inclusion crucial for every part of your battle against Vader. Most boss fights in this game follow the same format, chase scene followed by platforming until eventually reaching the final room and facing off against the boss. This level switches it up with multiple fights in several different locations, all feeling as good a boss fight as the last. Not to mention, this level has my favourite movie to LEGO adaptation, in the way Darth Vader tells Luke he is his father, making this level my all-time favourite LEGO game level. So that's my list. Did you agree with my picks? Did you strongly disagree? Let me know down below and I'll make sure I don't read them. Okay, bye.